So today we're going to be talking about the part 2 of the Evergreen revenue model. For those who missed part 1, we'll go ahead and post the link for part 1 a little bit later. We'll give you an opportunity to get a hold of it. But in part 1, we talked about our Evergreen prospecting sequence, which is a part of the Evergreen revenue model. So within the Evergreen revenue model, there are what we call micro sequences. And the difference, many of you have heard in the industry this term funnel. And as entrepreneurs, we got to get away from that term. I mean, just honestly, we got to get away from that term. It's not good for the industry. It encourages linear thinking, and it also builds a top-down model. And what it says is kind of bring people in and kind of funnel them down where the best of who you are is reserved for these people at the bottom. And I think that the best of who we are should start right at the top. And in that funnel, it moves everything straight line. You've seen a funnel. It's just like a funnel that goes into, for putting oil in your car. It just funnels people down and out. Look at a funnel. Funnels are never designed to keep people in. And I want everybody to listen to me on this one. Funnels are never designed to keep people in. Funnels are designed to push people out. It's to bring them in and push them out. It's to bring them in and push them out. And you never see a funnel. You will never see a funnel that basically is designed to keep people in. That's why the funnel has a hole at the bottom. Why? Because people come in and people come out, go out. People come in and people go out. And the problem with that, I remember, Shay, when you and I got into a discussion about this, you and I used to argue all the time.
Sure,
Shay was
absolutely.
like, well, let's call it. Remember that, Shay? We used to get in those arguments? I'm like,
Oh,
nah, it's
absolutely.
not a. And I remember, you know, fighting against my industry colleagues. I remember arguing with some of the heavyweights in the industry, and I said, you know, I don't care if it's popular. I don't care if everybody's doing it. I don't care if the term is very cliche. There's something wrong with bringing people in and pushing them out. And it's contrary. And so we don't really believe in funnels. We believe in circular sequences. How can you keep people in? See, Apple is not trying to bring you through a funnel and push you out. They bring you into a sequence, an ecosystem that keeps you in. That's why you buy the iPhone, then the iPad, then the MacBook, then the Apple TV, then the Apple Watch, and then iPhone 2, iPad 2, MacBook 2, Apple TV 2, Apple Watch 2, iPhone 3. See, they're bringing you into an ecosystem of service. And we got to stop following the crowd. We got to stop trying to be like everybody else. Part of being an entrepreneur is being true, transparent, and authentic to that which you believe. And so we cannot be followers. As an entrepreneur, you also agree to be a business leader. Everybody write into the group right now, entrepreneurs are business leaders. And today, and everybody just type into the group right now, entrepreneurs are business leaders, hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Entrepreneurs are business leaders, hashtag Evergreen business model, Evergreen revenue model. Entrepreneurs are business leaders, hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Everybody type that into the group right now. Go ahead and do that as we're getting started, getting revved up for tonight. Because there is something to be said about following the crowd. And you can't be a business leader and a business follower at the same time. I'm sorry, you just can't do both. And so in this conversation about funnels, I want everybody to just kind of hear yourself saying it. Matter of fact, I want you to let the world hear you saying it. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to do this twice, and watch what's going to happen. Just watch. Type into the private, into the elusive, into the exclusive Facebook group. You can get there by going to virtualnetworkinglive.com. There's no other group like it on the planet. Type in no more funnels, hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Go ahead and do it now. Type in no more funnels, hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Now, don't type it if you don't believe it. If you believe that people should come in and get pushed out, don't type it. But if you believe that there's a different way, if you believe in a holistic approach to business, if you believe in creating a business ecosystem, if you believe in creating an environment where you can put people in the center of your ecosystem so they can get everything they need, that they can be protected, so that they can be guided, if you believe that, go ahead and type in no more funnels, hashtag Evergreen revenue model. No more funnels, hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Now, I know it's controversial, but that's fine. And then here's what I want you to do. hit the share button above the video. Hit the share button above the video. Hit the share button above the video right now. Hit the Facebook share button above the video. Go ahead and do it right now. Type in no more funnels, hashtag evergreen revenue model. Type in no more funnels, hashtag evergreen revenue model. See, I think the age-old quote, Shay, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that bad things happen when good people stand by and do nothing. Is that the quote, Shay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that some of us have traded in our business leader card. And I'd be interested in Dr. Wright hearing what your thoughts are on it and Lyric. But I think we started trading in our business leader card, and we started adopting our follow the crowd card, follow the movement card, follow what's latest card, follow what's trending card. And we start to say stuff, teach stuff, and believe stuff that we haven't even checked that is true.
Mm-hmm. Because it's popular.
Yeah. And I don't, you know, for me, I'm like, I moved away. I had to start challenging stuff. I was like, wait a minute, is this true or not? And the thing that you got to ask yourself, are the things that you're doing, are the things that you're learning, are the things that you believe in your business, are they true, or is it just you heard everybody say it? So no more funnels. Hashtag evergreen revenue model. No more funnels. Why? Because a funnel is designed to bring people in and push people out. It's designed to bring people in and push people out. And that's really, listen, keep running funnels in your business. Only thing that's going to happen is as soon as the customer gets pushed out, you're going to be looking for a new customer, and the client is going to be looking for a new business. And both y'all going to have the same problem.
Same.
And the problem with that, you cannot create a sustainable business operation like that. And you don't hear IBM, you don't hear Apple, you don't hear Netflix saying, we got to bring them into our funnel. No. Here's what you do. You hear it when you hear it amongst the small business community. And if the small business community keeps adopting that funnel mentality, they're going to stay small businesses. Now, I know it's a little bit controversial, but I'll say it again. No more funnels, hashtag evergreen revenue model. Somebody holler if you hear me. Somebody post it in the group. If anybody's out there willing to be a business leader, if anybody's out there willing to be a little bit controversial, if anybody's out there willing to be a little bit authentic, if anybody out there knows this makes sense, go ahead, just post it again. No more funnels, hashtag evergreen revenue model. But Shay, let's go ahead and dive into the dialogue on this as we get deeper into this conversation today before we go into the evergreen event sequence. And Dr. Wright and Shay and Lyric, let's kind of dive into this conversation today.
Sure, absolutely. The conversation is about funnels. I believe in funnels, but I've changed. So, you know, you can make a change when it makes sense. And so the question that Trevor's posing out there, which I totally agree with him, is what can we do now to make sure that we keep folks inside of this circle, if you will, and they can stay within our network? And jot this down in your notes. This is one of the ideas for your 2K16 plan, and here it is. This is very important, so I don't want you to miss this. And I wasn't going to share this tonight, but you're here, and you showed up, and we promised you some ideas that'll help you. So go ahead and jot this down right now. This is the first note that I'm going to share with you. So get your phone and jot it down, and here it is. A buyer is a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. Just jot that down. A buyer is a buyer is a buyer. We're going to do it 3 times. A buyer is a buyer is a buyer. And the reason we say that, and put that, if you would, in the private and the elusive and the exclusive Facebook group, and what that means around the conversation is it gives them an opportunity to first be a buyer, and then they come back a second time and a third time. And it's much easier when they're a funnel, they go straight on through. Makes a lot of sense to me. So hence, it's time to push the sales funnel out the way. Over to you, Trevor.
Yeah, and I'm going to push it over to Dr. Wright in just a second, but Sandra Connors from Indianapolis, Indiana. I believe no more funnels. Never liked the concept anyway. Vanessa Boyd, Daryl Fletcher says no more funnels. Shifter Williams, no more funnels. Helga Clark, no more funnels. Anisha Clark, no more funnels. I mean, we got to get this concept out of our mind. I mean, we're only doing it because it's popular. And once again, for those people who are just joining us, funnels by and large are designed to bring people in and push people out. And you don't want to do that in your business. You'll always be looking for new customers. You'll always be looking for new sources of revenue, and it causes your revenue to not be sustainable, and it's what causes us to do this. And I'm going to show you tonight how to create another circular sequence that we use. Yesterday, I taught everybody about the evergreen loop. Tonight, we have a very special guest, a product launch expert that's going to be teaching us about the Evergreen event sequence, a consistent, sustainable way to bring people into your webinars, your conference calls in a very highly profitable way. And she's going to teach it to you no matter which tools you are using. We believe that by and large, too many people are buying too many tools, too many toys without a real strategy for how you're going to monetize it. And I think we got to move away from that. And so, Dr. Wright, I might just go ahead and push the conversation over you and see what your thoughts are.
She's muted.
Oh, she's mic'd?
You're muted there, Dr. Wright. You have to unmute yourself. There you go. I think you muted yourself back again, by the way.
She's still muted.
There you go. That's better.
I get in there one day. Yeah, if my lips are moving and you can't hear me, there's a problem. I do think the funnel is antiquated. I do think as small businesses, we should take on the approaches that big businesses take and scale them down for us, but we should do things differently. We should be lean, we should be able to move quickly, and we should adopt to what is, not to what we hope our clients will be and will do, but the way people buy right now, what people are looking for right now. We've got to have the tools and we've got to be automated. The smaller your business is, that means the fewer employees that you have, the more automation is absolutely needed. So I love what you're teaching about no more funnels. Let's have an ecosystem, because now the small business CEO has a real chance.
Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting, because I don't know if we even, if we challenged the concept initially when we started being taught it. It was a new industry and a lot of people were doing it, so we did it. What say you, Barrett? Matthews? I know you got to unmute your microphone.
Okay, mic check, mic check.
Yep, we can hear you good and clear.
Okay, I mean, one of the things is that people have to understand that if you're looking for a client, you're looking for a client for life. So you're not looking for someone that's going to come and go. Too many businesses out there run into people that come and go. That's why they're always looking for new clients. If you have a system in place, and that's really what we're talking about here, is putting systems in place. If you have a system in place that incorporates bringing clients in, keeping clients happy, keeping clients into your quote-unquote family, then they feel that they belong. They feel a need to refer other people. They feel a need to continue doing business with you, and therefore you will continue to bring in business. They will continue to be happy. They will continue to bring business to your business.
Yeah. Yep, and Shay, we'll just mute Barrett for a second, because I got a little bit of an echo. Yep.
I'm on it now.
Yep, that's good. So, tonight we're going to go against industry standard. Tonight we're going to be controversial. Tonight, I'm going to tell you what they won't tell you. Tonight, I'm not going to tell you what we heard. I'm going to tell you what we know and what we did. Tonight, I'm going to tell you what we actually did to generate 7 figures. I ain't going to speculate. I ain't going to pontificate. What I'm going to do is we're going to get right down to what we are doing in our business and have done in others' businesses as well. And so let's talk about, so first of all, we had this first concept of no more funnels. Put the funnel in the trash can. Unless you just are in the business of throwing out customers, get rid of the funnel idea. And the people who are using it, a lot of times they are not intending to harm you. They just have not challenged the concept themselves. And they, if given some thought, because a lot of times these people are thought leaders and business leaders, if just given a little bit of thought, they would probably agree that a funnel is probably not the right concept for teaching people how to do business, because the funnel concept is for things to come in and things to come out, things to come in and things to come out. And at the end of the day, you don't want customers dropping out no more than you want revenue dropping out. You want revenue to run in a circle. Even our economy is based upon money running in a circle. So the Evergreen revenue model was something that we founded, and it went against the industry standard, which was the rinse and repeat model. And the rinse and repeat model, we did it in our business. We did it. And one day I said, making money can't possibly be this hard. you know where I'm coming from, don't you, Dr. Right? You remember that conversation?
Yes.
I was like, it just cannot be this hard. I mean, I love making the money, but it's hard. No love life, no time with the children. It was just hard. No sleep, no vacation. Only thing you got to put on, only thing you got to kind of beat your chest with is a bank account. And you can beat your chest with a bank account, but I'm gonna tell you, you can't marry your bank account. You can't raise your bank account. And you can't take your bank account to Disney World. Just saying. All success doesn't have a dollar sign on it. So I started to challenge the concept because my coaches and all the other coaches, they've been taught this thing called this rinse and repeat model. Trevor, figure out what works in your business, what works in your business, what works in your business, and do what? Do it again. And everybody kept saying, figure out what works, and then do, and then do, and then do it again. And so I figured out what worked, and I did, and I kept generating revenue. But the thing that I was replicating in the rinse and repeat model is I was replicating my labor. And what I did was I became dependent on labor as my primary source of generating revenue. A lot of coaches are struggling with this right now. And I said, well, how can we do this differently? And I started to evaluate this concept of what if generating revenue could be like a renewable source of energy. Just like solar power is renewable, that it constantly keeps creating energy that gets used, that gets created again, but it's renewable. Well, what if we could create a renewable source of revenue? And thus was born this concept of the evergreen revenue model. And instead of replicating our labor, what if we could replicate our revenue? What if we could do something one time and reap the benefits indefinitely? What if we could do something one time and reap the benefits indefinitely? And then I had to find business models that supported that belief. Netflix. They built the system one time. They're reaping the benefits indefinitely. They're not building Netflix over and over every month. Are they improving it? Yes, but they're not building it over and over again. They're not doing it over and over again. They're not saying Netflix China, Netflix. There's Netflix, period. And so I want you to get used to the concept of doing something one time and reaping the benefits indefinitely. I want you to break your addiction to labor as a revenue source. Everybody write that down right now to the group because I'm trying to speak to you. Write this down, say it to yourself, write it to yourself. I must break my addiction to labor as a source of my revenue. See, we talk about people who are addicted to alcohol, people who are addicted to cocaine, people who are addicted to marijuana. We got some bigger addictions that affect our life. Some of us as entrepreneurs are straight up and down addicted to our labor as a source of our revenue. And the reason why we're addicted because to our ego, it makes us feel important. It makes us feel needed. It makes us feel necessary. But the job of a CEO, your job is to become the least important person in your business, and you got to accept that from an ego point of view. Write this into the group right now. I must break my addiction to using my labor as a source of revenue. Hashtag Evergreen Revenue Model. And I'm not saying you can't use your labor as a source for revenue, but when your labor is the primary source of how you generate revenue, when you get sick, when you get tired, when you get burned out, because this is what happens to people who are addicted to labor as a source of their revenue, you're not going to be able to sustain it. You're not going to be able to maintain it. It's not going to be consistent. And some of you, your revenue is spiking up and down, and you think that you don't have the right tool or the right product. You think it's something else you need. And it's not necessarily what you need to buy next. It's what you need to stop doing. And what you have to stop doing is always looking to yourself. Let me give you another quote. The answer to who doesn't always have to be you. The answer to who doesn't always have to be you. And some of you, every time every time there's something that needs to get done, you always want to answer the question with you. Some of y'all on here right now, I want to learn what I got to do. I want to learn what I need to do. And you want to learn the secrets so you can go do it. And if you're here so you can learn how you can go do it, then you've missed the whole point. Because the point is not so you can do it. The point is so you can build the system so you can hire somebody else to do it. See, the rule is hire a team until you can build a team. Everybody write that down. Hire a team until you can build a team. Hire a team until you can build a team. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Hire a team until you can build a team. Hire a team until you can build a team. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Go ahead and type that into the group right now. Go ahead. Listen, I'm going to give you some good juicy nuggets today. I'm telling you, the answer to who does not have to be you. And see, when you use labor, when you have an addiction to labor as your primary source of revenue, when you have an addiction to labor as your primary source of revenue, you take for granted things like processes and systems. What's up, Shaq?
Man, I agree with you, Trevor. And the problem is that sometimes is we want to do it all, and you're going to share this evening a way that you can work less and make more money. Okay, I know it's an interesting concept, Trevor, but it's so true. Work less and make more money. And isn't that really what you want? I mean, isn't that really why you got into this profession, this entrepreneurship, being a small business owner, or having some part of your income tied to commission so you can work less and earn more money, help more people? Trevor, I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. Great concept, great timing for it.
Yeah. So in Alcoholics Anonymous, which is an organization for people who have a particular type of addiction, the thing is, and I don't know this for a fact because I've never been to a meeting, but I've only heard. But one of the things that they say is that you have to first admit that you have a problem. Look, tonight we got to start admitting to the fact that we have an addiction to our labor as the primary source of revenue. Some of us have an addiction and don't even realize it. Some of us have an addiction and we won't even admit to it. And until you can admit and be transparent about the fact that you have an addiction to your own labor as a source of your revenue, if you can't admit that you have it, you can't break an addiction you don't even acknowledge you have. I must break my addiction to using my labor as a source or as the primary source of generating revenue. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model. What say you, Dr. Wright?
I say absolutely. I mean, we've got to realize that puts a ceiling. Our labor, we only have 24 hours a day. We have families, we have lives, we want to have lives, we want to do different things. And so how can you expand if it's all on you? You might as well just have a job, because a job you can only work so many hours until you drop. And so this is such an important concept, breaking the addiction. And you need to take it serious because it's very hard. See, we think we're really smart and I'm going to do this and I'm going to hire this one person to do this. And then we have these whole big areas of our business that we're still handling ourselves, calling ourselves a CEO, but we're still doing the majority of the work. So this addiction is deep and hard, and I know just me working with you, breaking it myself, that was the hardest thing. That was the biggest stretch that I had for a long, long time. See, we want somebody to stretch us, to push us to make 6 and 7 figures, but we don't want to be told that we have to hire a team until we build one. We don't want to take time to build a team. We don't want to take time to really do the things that will set us free. And it's very, very hard. Don't fool yourself that you can do it by yourself. Seriously, don't fool yourself that you can break this addiction by yourself. You really have to have somebody with you, understanding what you need, and really just kind of, making sure you really get there.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think what happens, Dr. Wright, if I might, I think what happens is we start to wear our labor as a badge of honor. And we don't knowingly do it. We are doing it because it's really trendy. Like you hear things like, I'm on my grind. hustling hard, where we actually give ourselves a badge of honor for saying, I'm up on my midnight hustle, and these type of terms that say when you work hard. I'm not saying working hard is not admirable, but as an entrepreneur, if you still find yourself working hard after 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, how long you think your body gonna hold up? How long do you think that your family is gonna want to keep sacrificing while you are trying to build the American dream? As you get older in your business and more mature in your business, your labor should decrease, not increase. That's one way if you're addicted to your labor, because your labor should decrease and your profit should increase. But what happens?
But Trevor, that can't happen if you use the funnel. You know what I'm saying? It should, but people are using the funnel. That's why it doesn't happen. They're using the wrong thing.
I agree. And in addition to that, because they're so addicted to their labor, they now don't have to implement processes and systems in their business. And that's what we're going to deal with tonight. It's like, hey, what difference does it make if I teach you about a process or a system or a sequence if you're still addicted to your labor? Because at the end of the day, when you get off of this hangout, when you get out of this chat, you're going to go right back to your labor. You're going to go right back to the thing you're most comfortable with. You're going to go right back to the thing you learned, and you have to accept it. I am not going to work myself to death. And to do that, you're going to have to make some new commitments to processes and systems. And what are your thoughts, Anthony?
Well, I think you hit the nail right on the head. And the question here, I'll pose to you, I know the answer to, but I'll play devil's advocate. What about the person who is, who's first time hearing this? They've never heard of this concept. What do you say to the person that is, they're used to the linear thinking in their business model, and they're not sure how to put this new technology to place for them? What would you say to them?
Well, let me say this. There are times when you need to learn what to do. There are times when you need to understand what to do. And then there are times when you just need to get it done. We got 95 days left in this year. There's no more time for you to learn what to do. You got to put that to bed for right now. There's no time for you to understand everything. Right now, you're in get it done mode. And if you accept that, you will start to apply your resources differently. I was talking to a person today, and she wanted to hire me as a coach. And I told her no. And she says, I don't understand, Trevor. You just told me all these great things. I said, you don't need a coach. She says, yes, I do. I said, look, I'm not interested in transferring labor to you. Now, I'm about to hurt a lot of people's feelings tonight. A lot of people's feelings are going to get hurt. A lot of people on my own team feeling great get hurt because they're going to say, Trevor just went on there and told people they don't need coaching. It's not what I'm telling you. Well, I know what they're thinking, Dr. Wright, but I told them to be a little controversial tonight. They should not have given me a microphone tonight. But tonight, Trevor's going to tell the truth. Somebody just put in there, Trevor, tell the truth. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model. But remember that to a certain degree, coaching done the wrong way can be a mechanism for transferring the responsibility for labor to you. That's the reason why so many people like to be coaches. They just get to tell you, hey, I got some great ideas, go do it. Then when you don't do it, they say, hey, why you didn't do it? You're a bad person.
Absolutely right.
But in business coaching, you shouldn't be looking to transfer labor to another person. What you should be looking to do is help them understand what needs to get done so they can go out and hire the right person or the right team or put the right process or to put the right system in place. But by and large, because most coaches are still doing the work themselves, they don't understand processes and systems. And because most of them learn by somebody transferring the responsibility of labor to them, and it's like, hey, look, you got 95 days in a year. Are you really looking to take on some more responsibilities? Hell no. No. Really? What's the highest and best use of your time? Well, let me go watch 10 more webinars. Well, let me go on YouTube. Well, time for my Google education. Well, let me go to my, this coach, that coach, all this stuff, and all you do is you start to feel overwhelmed with all the stuff you don't know, and you feel overwhelmed with all the stuff that you're not doing. The answer to who does not always have to be you. You got 95 days. Let me tell you about the highest and best use of your time. The highest and best use of your time is figuring out what needs to get done and hire somebody else to do it. Now you can do a whole lot of things with your time that you can figure it out later, and you can challenge me if you like. But what will happen is 95 days from now, you'll look up and you'll find that you spent more money than you made, and that's not a business. We got to get revenue focused.
And that's why I asked you to say that. I'm glad you said that, because it boils down to, you asked me what thought process is, it boils down to breaking the chains. And you've got to break the chains.
I like that. Breaking the chain. Let's give Anthony one of those big shout outs. Breaking the chain.
Breaking the chain.
Hashtag or @Anthony. Let's give him some love for saying that. But I just think, it just makes me so angry. It makes me unbelievably frustrated to see that addiction to labor and to see people signing up basically saying, tell me something to do. Like, give me another job. Like, enslave me. Give me some more labor. That's the last thing you need.
Enslave me. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, my focus, hey, listen. If the reason I had to tell the person no, because the person wanted me to tell them what to do. And I was like, well, I'm not going to tell you, go do this, then go do this, then go learn this. I don't want to shift the responsibility of the labor to you. What I want to do is talk to you about systems and processes and talk to you about where the right people to hire so that the responsibility for labor is not on you. You got to listen. You don't always have to be the hardest working person in your company. It's okay to work smarter, not harder. Anybody on my team, they'll tell you. They was like, who's teaching this? One day, me and Shay were in the room. I walked into the room. Lyric, you were there. I said, I'm not. I walked right into the room and said, I'm not teaching. They said, I said, I'm not teaching. I broke out a board. I went to the board. I taught my team, and then the team went and taught. They said, I was not going to do it. And at the end of the day, it's about those processes, and it's about those systems. And it's about making sure that you are imparting to others. At the end of the day, let me tell you what to do. I'm sorry. Shay, can I say this?
Absolutely. Take your time.
Look, this is what you do with people who are addicted to labor. Go hire them. Because what they want is a job.
Oh. Did you say hire the person who is addicted to labor?
Anybody that's addicted to labor, go hire them. They're going to be a good worker. But the question you got to ask yourself is, do you want to be a good worker or you want to be a good entrepreneur? Now, it's a choice.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Come on. Now you're talking. That's what I'm talking about.
But when you find somebody addicted to labor, go hire them. Now, some of y'all are thinking right now, I've been hired because I'm a good worker. It's okay. I've been a good worker. And, maybe if, my fortunes were reversed, I might have to go back to being a good worker. But right now, I'm focused on being a good entrepreneur, and so should you. The answer to who doesn't always have to be you. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some of y'all need to write it again.
Mm-hmm.
My best bet is to hire a team until I can build a team. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Some of y'all need to write it again. I must break my addiction to using my labor as the primary source of my revenue. Hashtag Evergreen revenue model. Some of y'all think you're going to say it one time, hear it one time, and you're going to do it. Nah, you have been addicted for a long time. You have been manipulated for a long time. And you don't break that type of addiction by hearing one speech, writing it one time, thinking it one time. You got to reprogram yourself.
That's this is your intervention group right here. This is our intervention group right here, Trevor. Yeah. You have brought them to intervention to break that addiction.
So, getting into tonight's discussion about the Evergreen revenue model. There's the rinse and repeat model. That's figure out what works, do it, what works, and if it works and it's profitable, do it again. And if it works and it's profitable, then do it again. If it works and it's profitable, do it again. But understand, you're replicating your labor. That's for my hard workers over there. Those are my people that's addicted to labor. And if you're addicted to labor, keep on doing rinse and repeat. But over here, I'm talking to entrepreneurs. I'm talking to the CEO. I'm talking to that business leader. And over here, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about the evergreen revenue model. We're talking about no more funnels. We're talking about circular sequences. We're talking about business ecosystems. We're talking about processes and systems. We're talking about not transferring the responsibility for labor to you. I'm not trying to transfer responsibility for labor to you. Over here, what we're talking about is not replicating our labor, but replicating our revenue. Over here, what we're talking about is creating a renewable source of revenue. So last night, we talked about the beginning of that, which is the evergreen prospecting sequence. But tonight, Keisha Chambers-Williams, coming to us all the way from Richmond, Virginia, is going to talk to us about the evergreen event sequence. Let's get ready for her tonight and just say, everybody just give her some love, give her a shout out, say go at Keisha. That's DEKESHA. Once you type her name into Facebook, the rest of her name will come up. The rest of her name will come up, and you'll see Keisha Chambers-Williams. Say go at Keisha Chambers-Williams at evergreen event sequence. Evergreen event sequence, because that's what she's going to talk to us about in the next 5 minutes or so. And so go ahead and give her some love as she comes to the stage, as she shares with you what we only share with our $40,000 and above clients behind the scenes. But tonight is your night. So tonight, kick back. If you're a little sleepy, go get some no-dos. If they still make that, go get a Red Bull. But whatever you want to do, wake up. Wake the hell up, because we got to get revenue focused. Wake up. Now, here's what we believe in.
I know that's right.
We believe in paying it forward. We believe in paying it forward. Let me tell you something. One day, Anthony was, I was with Anthony in San Antonio, and he said, Trevor, I do something similar to you. Are you going to be okay if I get some of your customers? I said, Anthony, I said, in the personal professional development space, this year alone, it's estimated that it's going to bring in over 100 billion with the B dollars. I said, go ahead, write that down. Do you know how many zeros there? He wrote it down. I said, Anthony, how much of that 100 billion do you want? He says, I only want about 1.5 million. I said, okay, let's just say I take 10 million. Is there still plenty left for me? Is there plenty still left for you? He's like, yeah. So we're not competitors. We are colleagues. Is that what I said, Anthony?
That's exactly what you said.
I said that, right? And
yes.
Yeah. We were at the hotel. I said it about midnight. We were in the lobby. We were chilling, and I said it. And my point is that some of you right now are afraid to share your edge, to share what you know, because you're thinking that they're gonna use it on my people. We're not competitors. We're colleagues. So I want you to hit the Facebook share button above the video, and I just want you to write, it's time to learn about the hashtag evergreen revenue model. If you just do that for us, and you'll just pay this forward, and if you'll just tag myself or tag Shay, but hit the Facebook share button above the video. Now, some of us, we got to learn to go above and beyond what's required. So people say, well, Shay, Trevor, why don't you ever say hit the Twitter share button? And why don't you ever say hit the LinkedIn share button? And why don't you ever say hit the Google Plus share button? And I always say the same thing. It's because you can tell those people who are committed to success, and you can tell those people who are committed to excellence, because they always go above and beyond what's requested. And if you don't allow a margin for excellence, and you're always constantly telling people what to do, you don't know their true business character. See, excellence is a type of business character. And so you may say, do this, but this person does 2 things above that, 3 things above that, 4 things above that. By the way, everybody that's ever been hired for Team PPI has only been hired due to the fact that at the end of the day, they showed a commitment to business excellence, and we figured that we had to make them a power partner, because we wanted to partner with people who used excellence as a form of their business character. So some of you just going to hit the Facebook share button. Some of you not going to do it at all, and that's okay. I don't even want you to do it. If you have to even begrudgingly do it, paying it forward, don't worry. This is not your season. But for some of you, you're going to do it. But there are others of you, you know I am excellent. It's not about, Trevor being excellent. It's not about Shay being excellent. You know in your heart you are excellent. And because you are excellent, you're like, I'm going to go above and beyond what is required for me. I'm going to take these notes. Note takers are money makers. I'm going to share this with my community. I'm going to bring value to my tribe. This hangout didn't cost anybody. We just got up, we put our suits and ties on, and we said, hey, we're going to go bring value to our tribe. We've been doing it for multiple years now, over 5 years. Why? Because we're committed to bringing value. See, you got to give something of value before you can get something that you value. You got to give something of value before you can get something that you value. And too many of us want value from the communities that we've not sowed into. It's called sow and reap. What did you sow? So hit the Facebook share button above the video and maybe share one of your big takeaways. If you would like, tag myself and tag Shay so that we can share what you shared to somebody else, but make it look like it comes from you. Why? Because we want to raise you up, not us. I'm just saying. All right, Shay, I'm ready to pass the mic. Why don't we go ahead and get our guests?
Pass the mic over to me. I got the mic. I got the mic, ladies and gentlemen. I got it. I got the mic. Keisha, I have the mic. It's back in my hands.
All right.
But the point has been made. The point needed to be made. And Trevor, thanks for making that point this evening. Creating your 2K16 revenue plan. That's why you're here. The time is right. You know you can perform at a higher level. Keisha is ready over there. She's going to share something tonight called the Evergreen Revenue Model at a time when we need it most. Trevor, why don't you go and give her an introduction? I see she's got her stuff ready to rock and roll. We're going to bring up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what you want to do as she's getting ready is you want to think to yourself, what is the Evergreen event sequence? And if you don't know, don't worry. It's going to be unleashed to you right now. Over to you, Trevor.
Yeah. So yesterday we talked about the Evergreen prospecting sequence, which is one of the micro sequences within the Evergreen revenue model.
Oh, man,
but we know that there are a lot of people who are having webinars and
hold on, Trevor. I'm hearing some feedback. I don't know if somebody's playing in the background or not. I can hear myself. Hold on. Oh, there it goes. Oh, Keisha, is that you over there? Let me see if me.
It sounds good to me.
All right, testing.
It was just a little bit of an echo there, but it looks like you fixed it. So, you know, I hear a little bit of an echo, but let's mute.
Somebody playing it.
Let's mute. Well, why don't you go ahead and mute Anthony for a second, and then why don't you just leave Keisha unmuted?
Testing 1, 2.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think it might have been Anthony. He might have been listening to it.
Okay, no worries. So what we're going to do now, we talked about the Evergreen. We've been talking about this Evergreen revenue model. And it's about creating a renewable source of revenue, a recurring source of revenue, a sustainable source of revenue, a consistent source of revenue. Tonight, we're going to have Keisha teach part 2, which is the Evergreen event sequence. Now, before Keisha gets started, I'm going to do something that I'm not supposed to do. But I've already said a whole bunch of stuff that's going to get me banned from every business group on the planet. So might as well keep everything going. What she's going to show is so profound. What she's going to share is so revolutionary that I believe that many of you are going to need to hear it again. And many of you are going to want to not just hear it again, but you're going to want the first part of the sequence that we taught yesterday. And some of you need the notes and the board and all that kind of good stuff. And some of you want to talk to somebody about how to get that implemented in your business. I'm going to do something for free for everybody right now. I'm going to honor the first 20 people to do it. I'm going to honor the first 20 people to do it with no cost. So if you get there and you find that you see a $500 bill, it's because you are not one of the first 20. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com. I want you to go to doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com. Go to doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com, and you can pre-schedule a complimentary appointment where you can get the notes and learn how to implement this in your business. You can go to doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com. Doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com. Go ahead and do that right now. Do it right away. Go to doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com. Somebody type that into the group for us, and go ahead and get your appointment scheduled before this thing even ends, so that you're already taking action. And Universe rewards those people who take action differently than those people who do not. Go to doubleyourrevenuemeeting.com.